There's a reason as to why people can no longer afford New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco, or Seattle.
They're not exaggerating when they say that they're making products so that they're unfixable anymore.
It's so sick and twisted how colonization and capitalism have wiped our collective memory.
So today we're talking about the thing that makes the world go around: money,
Capitalism.
the work of money.
Yes.
Yes. Truly, capitalism is something that you can't avoid. A lot of people say they don't want it. I can agree in like a lot of spaces. Like this mess sucks, but it's kind of what we're stuck in now. It's hard to change how society works.
Yeah, like it can be good. It just needs to be better.
Yeah.
I feel like.
It does. Free market, but I don't think this market's free at all, for real. There's too many rules around it, and I don't think it was ever free. I think that's just something we say
Yeah.
to, amp up ourselves.
Put more regulations on those corporate companies.
Then they say that that's a bad idea. It's like it works for other places. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, this mess is out of hand. Like the cost of things, it's just they care more about their profits than customers or anybody else.
Yeah. The first word I saw was New York City. I already know there's going to be some BS.
Well, I guess we'll have to find out.
There's a reason as to why people can no longer afford New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco, or Seattle, which is the same reason as to why people can no longer afford Houston, Nashville, Austin, Miami, etc. Same reason connected to 3 different problems. Problem number 1, every American city is facing housing issues right now, because developers have gentrified neighborhoods and developed cities to the point they're unaffordable. And people can't afford housing because of problem number 2. Our employers are not paying us enough despite recording record profits. Because of problem number 3. Federal, state, and city politicians seeing all of this happen right in front of them and doing nothing about it because it's profitable. In the last 15 years, I have lived in Kansas City, Missouri, San Antonio, Texas, Columbus, Ohio, Washington, D.C., and New York City. And each one of these cities is plagued by the same issue. Housing costs due to gentrification and developers coming in, and specifically catering to people who are moving there versus the people who are already there, which forces the people already there to be displaced and have to move somewhere else, and displace the people of the places that they're moving to. This is especially relevant for Californians moving to Austin, Texas, and to Nashville, Tennessee, 2 places that have been gentrified terribly in the last 15 years. Developers gentrified these cities for those populations and displaced the people who are actually already in these cities. Those people had to move out to San Marcos, Texas, or Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Franklin, Tennessee, and commute into the city because they can no longer afford housing. Meanwhile, the people who moved to those cities from California couldn't afford California anymore because state politicians made it unaffordable. So a lot of them were forced to move. It's the same thing for New Yorkers moving to Miami and to other places, and people moving from Chicago to Nashville and Atlanta. Because we're being displaced, we're displacing you. It's a vicious cycle. Don't blame the refugee. Blame the people who are causing them to be refugees. Austin, Texas, and Nashville, Tennessee are both state capitals. State politicians from Tennessee and Texas see what's going on, but they do nothing about it because all of this moving is profitable to them. Meanwhile, Texans are blaming Californians for moving in without asking the question, why are they moving in? And the reason is because California is unaffordable. California has become a 1% only state for the rich, and working class Californians need to figure out where else to go so they can survive. In the same way people from New York are being displaced by people who are moving here, gentrifying neighborhoods, and then we have to move. And now we're displacing you to the point you need to move further out and drive longer to work and fight harder to survive because we're fighting harder to survive. And we all have the same enemy: the people who are doing this to us and allowing it to happen. Anyway, that's all. Thank you.
And that is the realest explanation I've ever heard in my entire life.
For real.
Because people forget about this thing about gentrification. It's more than because it's happened to race things, like race issue at a certain point. It's completely though, it's really a class issue. Like your middle class, upper class.
Yeah.
Because it's happening here right now in this apartment we live in. This place, I used to live in the area for forever. This place used to be ghetto. I didn't live in an apartment. I lived in neighborhood next by. This place used to be ghetto bad. Now it's, cleaned up, but now they're trying to charge $1,500, $1,600 for rent in 1 bedroom. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous. Like the rent prices are crazy. Housing prices are crazy just everywhere. is ridiculous, and it's a crazy vicious cycle that no one should be in.
For real. It's just so sad. Like, it really is like, hey, people just gotta move somewhere because everything's becoming too expensive because they want to get more money.
For real.
So pay people more. It's not that hard making record profits.
Exactly.
$2 extra? Can you not spring for $2 extra?
Like, obviously not. Like, you can't even just, like, they could add a shop or something. Like, people will buy stuff.
For
At
real.
that point, need money that bad.
For real.
Insane.
Since everything's expensive now, I've made an executive life decision. I'm gonna start stealing again.
I live in Australia, and I am consistently seeing in the media stories about the record-breaking theft that is happening at grocery stores, and then seeing all of the technology that these grocery store chains are rolling out to catch people doing it. And then I'm seeing separate articles about the record-breaking profits that these grocery store chains are celebrating. And not once, and correct me if I'm wrong, send it my way to like give me some fucking hope for journalism these days. But not once have I seen a story, I don't know, pair these two together and maybe ask the question, why are people resulting to thievery, to potentially altering the course of their lives just so that they can, I don't know, eat, feed the fam? People are...
Feed the fam.
Yeah, risking their lives by stealing, or risking their lives by not eating enough because they can't afford to eat, or they're getting sick from foraging. We live in a nightmare!
It's true, because people don't think about it. Crime doesn't happen just because someone wants to commit crime half the time.
Yeah.
Like 70% of the time, 80% of the time, crime happens because someone is going through something.
For real. But nobody ever thinks about that part. It still doesn't make it right, but like still.
Legit, like if I see someone stealing food, not my problem. Not my problem.
Just insane. And like apartments are already charging just to do laundry.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't get it. They have so many other ways of making money. They add on like smart rent and valet trash, which is a scam. Maybe we should do a video on that too.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Because like it's ridiculous. They have all these ways of making money, yet they just continue to raise the prices unreasonably high.
For real. And it's just like they know what they're doing. Because I remember like, I guess I'll say 2020, 2019, I saw an article about like, oh, Chicago shuts down, Walmart shut down Chicago or something because people were stealing too much. Why are they stealing so much? People were like, oh, because it's racism. Racist people. Like, racist people were like, oh, because they're black. No, because they're hungry. You put it in the middle of a really bad spot, but you somehow make record profits in that store too?
Insane.
But you had to be shut down because of stealing? More like, we don't want to be here no more because we're not making enough money that we wanted to.
It's not like they don't have enough. It's just they want more.
Exactly.
Crazy.
They're not exaggerating when they say that they're making products so that they're unfixable anymore. I got this oven a little over a year ago and it's already broken on me. So now I have to keep rubber bands on it to keep it closed. Used to be able to open it up and it would open up on both sides. Please ignore my dirty stone and all of that. It's really hard to scrub it up. But now this door won't stay closed by itself. And you can tell, I can envision exactly what's going on behind this plate here. And I know I can fix it myself. However, if you look along this, there is no way to take off the face of this oven so I can get to that inner mechanism. You would have to, like, this part is attached to the face. I would have to remove all of that. I contacted the company about it and they completely skipped the fixing it option and went straight to cutting the cord and sending me a replacement. I really like fixing my things. I don't like when things break easily. I keep my phones for at least 4 years each. It's appalling to me to throw away an oven that's still clearly working and easily fixable if I can remove that plate, but they designed it so it can't be. And it goes further. It goes into phones. They're starting to glue phones together so that people who fix them can't get them apart. AirPods, the batteries are completely irreplaceable, so they're not fixable whatsoever. And that goes for any most wireless earbuds on the market. They have consistently and concisely turned us into a consumerism market where you must consume on a regular basis in order to have functioning items. I'm over it, and when I get a house, all of my appliances are going to be vintage because I know those can be fixed.
And that's 100% true, because that's the first comment says right here, right there, repair laws. I've been hearing about those for the longest time, since like 2016.
Yep.
it's impossible to fix anything. The only thing I know that you can definitely fix is like a console at this point. Past that point, they make it so hard to fix anything else.
And everything is being made out of cheaper materials, so that's why like the vintage stuff is actually better at this point because they're more durable and you'll be able to fix it.
You know, that first light bulb is still shining now. It's been like 200, 300 years at this point. I don't know how long it's been. But that first light bulb is still shining.
Crazy.
And like, here's the thing too, with like that, we have an air fryer. That mess is the screen popped off a little bit. It broke a little bit. You know, I can't put it back because they don't want me to. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They put it in a way so you can't fix it.
Insane. It's all about profits now.
Yeah. Also, little tip here: do not use the self-cleaning function on the oven. I've been warned multiple times that will destroy your oven more. Stop it.
Insane, but they put it on there somehow. That's legal. The
Yep.
heck?
You know, artificial obsolescence.
Yeah, just stop buying in the stuff for real.
For real, just get the thing that works the best and don't fix it. Don't buy another one.
I feel like in vintage America, they might have actually cared about the consumers a little bit. Now they just don't care at all.
Yeah, because back then they wanted to like they want to prove how good they were at stuff. Now no one cares. Now people just want money.
Exactly.
That's all I gotta say.
All sucks now.
Sucks.
It's so sick and twisted how colonization and capitalism have wiped our collective memory. Because what do you mean homelessness wasn't even a thing until the 1600s? What do you mean the origins of homelessness can be traced back to colonial America? And the best that Western leftists can do is just argue that we need affordable housing. No, you shouldn't be paying for shelter. Because we weren't doing that for years. Until this fuck-ass country was created. Like, the solutions aren't even like solutions. They're band-aids on gash wounds. Like, the jugular has been split open and everyone just put some ice on it. It genuinely makes me so mad because it's like, you think we were doing that for thousands of years? The indigenous peoples of this continent, of the Americas, Africa, Australia. Like, do you think that our ancestors were paying some random bozo that has nothing to do with them every single month just to have a roof over their head? That shit is an export. Feudalism, landlords, like, that is a colonial export. We were not doing that since the beginning of time. If you needed a place to live, you would build a house and you would live there until you didn't. And it blows me because it's like, even if you suggest, hey, no one should pay for housing because we all needed to live, people look at you like you are crazy. Like, people will fight you on that. Okay, cool, affordable housing, but that's not gonna stop the upward tick of capitalism because there's no end goal. It's just continuous extraction and exploitation and making money until infinity, until we're all dead. So let's skip all that, get back to how we were living, and maybe take care of the collective. No, people will literally look at you like you're insane. This is why decolonization is the true path towards liberation, because this collective memory wipe prevents so many people from actually genuinely fighting for a completely free world. It convinces the collective that the best we can all fight for is scraps, reform, instead of getting to the root and the heart of all of these issues and destroying and dismantling all of it. Even without all this historical context, if you just simply say no one should be on the street, no one should have the power to put anyone on the street because we all need housing to survive, there will be somebody being like, actually, regardless if they're a landlord or not, because they believe in capitalism, because they have class aspirations, they believe in settler colonization, can do backflips for them, or will eventually one day. And for that, they're fighting for everyone to struggle. Like, you want to struggle. Like, what? Like, for the folks that are like, oh, we just need $300, $400 rent. Again, I understand that sentiment, but even when rent was $400 or $300, people were still homeless. People still were on the street back then. And that alone is why no one should pay for shelter. No one should pay for housing. That's the crazy answer. No one should pay for housing because we all needed to survive. But we can't have that because capitalism requires poverty to function and for people to struggle. So it can hold that over your head and be like, see, you must work unless you want to be like them. Poor people gotta exist for capitalism to keep going. And instead of everyone being like, okay, let's stop that. Let's not pay for housing. Let's not have rent. Let's get rid of landlords because that shit was not even a thing anywhere else besides Europe. You're the crazy bitch. You're the weirdo. Okay.
Well, I get what she's saying to the extent. I don't think we can really go back to territorial fight for land for your tribe level anymore. That's long gone, bro. That's not going to change. I do get what you're saying, because even with homelessness existing in the 1600s, there was systems around it, like, you know, the whole squatting stuff that used to exist. So people who, you know, because people would just be dying and like left and right.
Yeah.
You can just have their house. They're dead. They don't need it. There's an abandoned house in the middle of a field. Oh, it's your house, your land now. Have fun.
Exactly. And then the whole like building houses and stuff, which we were thinking about, but like in so many areas there's zoning laws, there's all of the other stuff around that to prevent you from like doing that, or like buying land and just putting your camper on it or building something. Like, it's crazy. Because in the end, it's like a HOA thing. Because like in the end, nobody really cares what they're looking at. But somehow that makes the property value go down and all of this. And they want everything to look the same.
Yeah. But I definitely 100% agree. We need poor people to basically say, hey, capitalism's cool. This getting money, working in your life forever is cool. Because that's how the system works. If without it, you need like a, you know, like a threat to work. That's what has always been.
Yeah, poor people and debt.
Yep, that's how they use it, and I completely agree with that. It sucks.
Exactly.
Oh well, what can we really do about it? The system's too deep in. We all grow up in it.
But even then, like, I really don't think that we should have to be paying anywhere near $1,000 a month just to have a roof over our head. It's ridiculous. Like, it's a necessity. The necessity should be cheap always.
Yeah, because I can tell you this: there's no free necessity is not going to happen anymore.
Yeah,
but we can start somewhere with cheaper necessities.
Exactly.
That's all I gotta say.
Or you.
Check your receipts when you go out to eat at a restaurant, because a lot of restaurants now are actually charging you to pay for their employees' insurance, liability insurance, 401ks, retirement, things of that nature. And how they're doing it is they are sneaking it onto the bill as a surcharge. It's where like the gratuities are and stuff. It's like, it's a new thing. Not all restaurants are doing this. It'll say like something like surcharge on there, right? And it's like usually like 4 or so %. I was just out to eat with our boyfriend and his mother. She very kindly paid for dinner and was looking over the bill, and had our waitress come over. Now the waitress, when we first got there, was like, oh my gosh, you guys are back. Like, she remembered us from a few weeks ago. She even remembered Justin's mom's favorite wine. And Justin's mom, very, very kindly, she's a very, very nice woman, was like, excuse me, I'm curious about this, like, the surcharge on here. Can you tell me what this is? And as you may or may not know, whether you've been here for a while or not, you know, I struggle with reading cues sometimes. And despite that, I was like, I could feel the vibe change. Now, I didn't exactly know what it meant, but I could sense it. So that must mean it was pretty bad. She got very kind of defensive and was like, oh, it's just like for our insurance. So do you want me to take it off the bill? And Justin's mom was like, well, yes, you know, I'm still going to give you a good tip. Of course, I want to tip you, but I don't feel like I should be paying for things that your employer should be paying for, like insurance and like the girl just walked away like mid-sentence. So Justin's mother is just like so kind and warm, and she's like incredibly intelligent, and she's had a lot of important roles in like high up places with finance and stuff, so she's very like aware of this kind of thing. And she had mentioned to me that a lot of things have been kind of slipping and flying under the radar since COVID, because during COVID a lot of companies, especially restaurants, were allowed to charge surcharges for things, you know, in order to keep up with their the financial burden of things like extra sanitizing and COVID tests, blah, 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 right? So an employer, a restaurant owner, they, yes, have to pay for insurance for their employees, or the 401ks, or their employees' retirement. Of course, that's an expense, but the thing is, right, like, they are putting this expense forward, but in return, they're creating revenue, right? It's a cost so that they can continue to generate revenue, right? So I don't think it's fair or appropriate, or maybe not even fully legal, for these restaurants to be doing this. Try to trick the patron into paying for things that the employer should be responsible for. It's because there isn't, like, restaurants are calling it whatever they want, like a something fee, like a convenience fee, or a surcharge, right? How is that getting written off on their taxes? Justin, my boyfriend, was actually the one to notice this first. That's why his mom was even aware of this, because he picked up on this at a different restaurant not too long ago, and again, very kindly just asked the server because he was curious, hey, what is this surcharge for? Just out of curiosity, never seen it before. And the server, in kind of the same fashion, got very offended, very defensive, and was like, do you want me to just take it off the bill? And Justin was like, sure, I guess. It's as if they know they're not supposed to be doing it. My position is it's violating a consumer's right to like informed consent. Anyway, it's kind of shady. Pay attention. Check.
Dang, I didn't realize this was the last video. That's crazy. Can you imagine? Like, I don't have nothing to compare this with.
Cause that's insane. Like, and then they can just take it off. So it's like, why is it there in the first place if you can take it off? Because if I would have seen that, I would have just thought that like, oh, it's a fee. There's nothing I can do about it. It's just a vague fee like they always do. And I would have just paid it. So I'm going to be looking out and I will be asking about it. So at that point, yeah, just ask about it and don't be scared.
That's crazy for real. Like, I feel like a lot of people, okay, so hear this. This is going to be a hot take in general. People don't believe that minimum wage workers or people who work in the field that does not pay them that much should be able to get like healthcare and 401ks. That should be a 6-figure job person thing. At least have them be able to afford to get their own healthcare if they wanted to.
Yeah.
It's like, why we got to do this extra mess? Because
exactly.
This whole tipping culture stuff from like the Great Depression anyway.
It's actually ridiculous.
This is the one system that's like has not changed in 100 years.
Because it's all on the employer anyway. They need to pay their employees more. It shouldn't really even fall on the consumers.
Yeah.
Especially the percentage tips. It's like, what does that have to do with anything really? Like, I don't get that part.
Me either. Like, I hear that tipping in certain nations does not even exist because the workers are paid enough. No one had to think, they must need extra money. I'll show them how much I appreciate them and making sure they can eat today. Like,
exactly.
It's weird.
It's actually insane. And then that scares me because before at one restaurant, it's like a Japanese restaurant. They come out with the receipt, but then they don't show like it itemized. They just show the total. And then like you're thinking, why is it so much? But you can't see what they charged. What if they double charge? What if they just put anything on there? Like that right there. No, thank you.
Oh yeah. Also, because we've given big tips before, this makes me really upset because like someone said in the comments of that last video, like they can just like take that. The owner can just take that. Same with their tips. Yep. The owners can just take that.
Exactly.
You give $100 tip through basically through electronic. What's to say they're actually getting that tip?
For real. Cash tips only, I guess, and they don't get taxed.
And sometimes they get split.
Yeah, that too.
Which is crazy.
Insane.
It sucks.
For real.
Well. Also, this too. Forced gratuity sucks.
Yeah, in those like groups where it's a big group.
Yep.
So they have like a size minimum where they will force the gratuity on there. Yep. I would not be in a big group anymore. I would sit at the other table.
We did that once. He was so like, what? They're forcing us to tip?
Like, that's crazy. And the service was horrible.
That service did suck. They were trying to get us to drink alcohol. We don't drink.
Because they were doing all of that. They ignored the table the whole time because they knew they were getting a tip regardless. So they're going to go and focus on the other ones. And I get it because, like, yeah, they need the tips and the employer's not paying them and stuff. But it's still, like, that right there. It's not helping anyone. It's actually, like, making the customers mad. And then the establishment is going to lose people. So, like, that right there.
Also, the food is mid. So, you know... That's all I gotta say.
It's so stupid. But thank you for watching the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video, and please get us to 1,000 subscribers.
Bye, guys.
Bye.